Hi, welcome back, guys. New episode here. We're what was this, episode 8? We're getting ready to modify this AFS. We're going to be doing some getting into places where it's not designed to get into, but nevertheless, this engine being how old? It's a 96, so 06, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. It is 27 years old. And so that's my modern math. I have to use all my fingers. 27 years old. And the EPA had this thing all set up the way that they wanted it with 170 something horsepower. We're going up to 100. We're going up to 400 to 450, and we're keeping a lot of things stock. And so we're not going crazy with the power, but we are making it run like it was really designed to run. The smaller horsepower was designed to do what was necessary at its day. You get a long life out of these engines, and come to find out through years and years, these 5.912 valves, all mechanical, these things go 1 million miles easy, sometimes 2 million miles, even at 400 horsepower. Let's do some things today that's don't have very much expense in the parts that we've got. Let's take a look at some of the parts that we're getting ready to install. So you want that throttle to be able to travel as far as it can, and Power Driven Diesel has developed this kit here. It's called the Max Travel Kit. And this Max Travel Kit, see, it has a spring in there and has a washer, and it's got screws and stuff. And the reason why they give you the screws is because you're getting ready to pull out some screws to an area that it's not prohibited that you get into it, but they try to discourage it. And so we have ways to get in there, being incorrigible or incorrigible, as the case may be. Also, the AFC repair. We're going to replace this diaphragm and the O-ring. And we're going to do some other modifications. Like I said in the previous episode, each one of these modifications can get 50 horsepower more, and that's not even, we haven't even got to the timing yet of the engine. So we're going to put these in the AFC, and I hope you enjoy this video. Okay, so here on top of the pump is your AFC. That's this part up. Has the line that goes to your boost on the you can either put this on a connection on your turbo, or you can put this on a connection that comes into your whole manifold, the pressure up on you. All right, one thing that I forgot to do is to take this top part off here to show you the star wheel that's in there. So you kind of get an idea of it in there. Let me see if I can get some light on it. There it is. All right, you see that? We're going to move that all the way back. With the connections for the throttle, these two holes up here are already gone. Now let's look over here on this other side for these screws over here on this side. And you'll see that this one right here has got a groove on it. But this one is not tamper-proof, tamper-resistant. And we're fixing to resist. So the object is to get on this screw right here and cut a notch in it with the Dremel. Let's give it a shot. There's the resistant one, dremeled and removed. A little bit of trash and dirt around this. It's still giving it up. So keep it clean. Okay, so this comes off now. All right, so there's the innards of that. We're going to take this off here, and we're going to modify this, and we're going to take this off, get rid of this shoe, and we're going to replace some items on here with our kit. Let's get after it. It is an absolute. You can't get past it. So you take that out because we're going to make it a much longer stroke on this thing. I'm wasting some of my spray here just to kind of show this to you. It's kind of a pity to waste it because this is going in the trash. We don't need it. Okay. All right, let's take a look down inside here so you can see what we're looking at. And so it'll be able to serve at the higher revs. If you don't take this out and modify it, then when you get to higher revolutions, RPMs, then you won't be able to have any more throttle. It'll just die off, and then you won't even be bumping against your governors. And that's what you want to be able to do, is have power all the way through your 3,000 to 4,000 RPM. All right, so we got their AFC housing here, and there's a couple of more anti-theft screws on it, one here and one there, and we're going to plug in the Dremel, and we're going to make it accessible. Like we said a while ago, this thing's 27 years old. Nobody's been into this thing, so these screws are cranky. That's what you call your smoke screw. Make some adjustments on that here a little bit. We're going to leave this on here. I forgot about that. Yeah, you don't want to do that. Be careful. All right, we're going to take this off. We're going to replace it. All right, so what we got is we are taking this diaphragm off here. When you take that nut off right there, there's a washer, man. You want to make sure and keep them together. All right, so here comes the diaphragm. set that right down here. And we have a washer on bottom with a spring. Now the spring we're going to replace. Here we go. So this spring right here is one that we're going to replace. And not going to replace it quite yet, but kind of show you the difference. You see there's a lot big difference. There's a lot more stroke on this one's longer. And so we're going to pull this out and we're going to take a look at it. And we're going to make a modification in here to the shoe and those things to give it more stroke on the throttle. All right, so we flipped it over. You see here's the foot over here. We're at the other end. We scribed around this to make sure that we get it in the same spot. When we come back, we're going to release this here. All right, the way this comes apart here is this. You have to shove this out over here. That pops out over there. And the shoe is down on the base rod down there, and you just kind of got to pry that thing off of there. So once that's pried off of there, that's what you're looking for. We're going to clean that thing up. We're going to make a modification on it. Now you see how this shoe is just kind of got an angle to it here? Can you see that? Right there. There. We're going to take that thing and we're going to make a straight line from this corner down, just a little grind to flatten that right there. We're also going to take about 1/10 of an inch off right back here. So this will give it some forward movement and this will give it some rear movement. So it'll start back, and when we put the star gear all the way back, then it will start from that point, so it gives it actually more movement all the way up and down the line in there. Okay. Now, see how that's flattened that out now. Okay, now we're going to take about 1/10 of an inch off back here. There's 125 thousandths on that. All right, here we go. It's a little warm, let me cool it off. All right. All right, so there we go. Not quite flush, I'll flush that up. There we go. Not quite flush. I'll flush that up. Got a little bit more to take off down at this end. All right, there it is. Got her square. All right, so I'm happy with that, and so we're going to go back in. And that right there, up with how we scribed it. You see the scribe marks in there? Okay, I'm gonna line that back up before we screw it down. And we're gonna screw it back down right there, because that's where it was when we got it. All right, so you can see how much easier it travels now. Some lubricant. There we go. Now let's get this finished up. All right, now we got the star star wheel down in here. We're going to screw it all the way down to where it hits dead bottom, and that'll give us even more room to move on our stroke for throttle. Taking it to the bottom. There it is at the bottom. Now we're going to put our spring in there. All right, so we've got our we got all of our new spring and everything in there, and this shoe's traveling good, and I'm getting ready to bolt it down with the new washer underneath. New washer on top. Washer underneath allows it to go inside the cavity. Okay, so we're going to put the top back on. The AFC here, starting in the corner here. Notice I'm pushing down on this foot here, and the reason why is I want that diaphragm to line up flush, so it kind of squirts out a little bit and it catches in between here, and I'm going to smash it down in between right here so it does not come out. Have you subscribed and liked yet? Why don't you take a second to do that for me? I would really appreciate it.